One of the most common questions we get is about insurance in Belize. How does insurance work? What types of insurance can I get? So today we brought in the expert. Marvin is the sales manager at ICB, one of the largest insurance companies in Belize. So Marvin, thanks for jumping on with me, brother.
Thank you very much, Will. It's always a pleasure.
Always, man.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, and Marvin's a great friend of us, guys. We see him almost once a week now. Hey, Marvin, in the office?
That's right.
Having a nice latte, helping our clients out and his clients as well. But Marvin, first and foremost, what is ICB and how long have you guys been in business for?
ICB is Insurance Corporation of Belize Limited. We are one of the largest insurance companies here in Belize. We are a general insurance company, meaning that we underwrite property, marine liabilities, and also vehicle insurance, right? And we are operating since 1982, and so we're over 40 years old.
Wow.
I've been in the industry over 30 odd years now with the Insurance Corporation of Belize Limited.
We got to get a round of applause and that right there for Marvin.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
So I guess following up to that, Marvin, you guys do, just so I have it all clear, marine, limited liability, home insurance or all perils insurance, and we're going to kind of break all these down. And then also transportation of goods.
Motor insurance, cargo insurance.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Everything except life insurance.
Except life insurance and health. Yes.
Okay, and I guess, Marvin, what makes insurance in Belize different from that in the US? What are some of the differences?
Well, one is the location, because we're in a Central America, Caribbean countries. Sometimes the risk of hurricane is far greater than parts of the US. Also, one of the immediate comparison that we always use is in the US, you will normally have to buy a separate policy from the state to cover flood insurance.
Yep.
Whilst in Belize, our policy, we cover flood against hurricane, tsunamis, torrential rains and so forth. Yep. And that is already embedded in the policy. So that is covered effectively or immediately when you purchase the policy.
So, and Marvin, what parts of Belize do you guys cover? Is it the entire country?
We have our branch office in every major municipality in this country.
I see them everywhere. I was in St. Ignacio the other day. I saw it across from the police station there.
Yes, that's one. Yeah, and then we have another one across the bridge in St. Helena as well.
Yep, and the office in Belize City is pretty impressive.
Yes.
How big is that office? How many people in there?
We have the entire numbers of employees at Insurance Corporation of Belize is over 100 employees countrywide.
Wow.
Countrywide. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. As far as the types of insurance go, Marvin, I mean, a lot of our people are probably going to want to know mostly about the all perils insurance, but I'd like to kind of go through each one and just kind of describe what they are and what they do. So let's start with the all perils.
Okay. So our property insurance will cover you against fire, which is the major coverage under the policy. So if your property is destroyed by fire of any means, right, then the insurance corporation will pay the sum insured that you have insuring your property. And when it comes to the sum insured, we recommend that it's insured for its replacement value. And that is determined based on the inflation and cost of materials and cost of labor, right? What it will cost to replace that property now at this time. And
do you guys determine that?
Yeah, we can determine that, but most of the time we will get an evaluation or we will look at the cost of, right, of the property.
Going through some of the types of insurance you have at ICB, Marvin, what would be the home insurance? What is that called and what does that look like?
Okay. The home insurance is what we refer to at ICB as property insurance, because we cover the structures within a person's property.
Yep.
And that could be the home, could be the contents. We can cover the fence. We can cover the retaining walls, like here at Mahogany Bay. And we can also cover the pool, right? For us, when we are underwriting, we prefer to have each one of those items insured separately. The reason for that is because of at the time of a claim, then it's easier for us to determine what is the maximum exposure or loss one can have, right, on each area. So if the home is insured, let's say, for example, $500,000 Belize dollars, right, then we know then that the property, the building itself is worth $500,000.
Yep.
If the person has $50,000 worth of household contents, right, that is the furniture, the appliances and so forth, and then if there's one item of that furniture destroyed, then we know exactly what that item is valued for and insured for, and so we pay, rather than having a percentage, determined of the overall sum insured. In regards to the pool, likewise, on the deck, if there's a value set on those, we know exactly how much to pay for if the pool and the deck is damaged.
Yeah.
Right? So normally in the US, I think they will determine based on a percentage of what percentage is the pool or the deck of the property value. And so then that could be less,
Yeah.
And so we prefer that we have a fixed value, agreed value on each item.
So you do them all separately?
Separately, yeah.
And what type of damages? Okay, great. That's good to know, Marvin. What type of damages are covered in those instances?
Okay, we'll cover your home against fire. That's a major policy, as I said earlier, right? If your home or the deck or the contents are destroyed by fire, we will pay the replacement cost, right?
Yep.
To rebuild or to replace those items. Let me say, Will, one of the advantages here is that we do not apply any deductible where there's a loss of fire. Insurance Corporation of Belize, ICB, will pay 100% for the value of that.
Amazing.
Right? And so that is the main policy coverage under our property policy, homeowners insurance. Another coverage, another peril that is insured is the hurricane.
Yeah.
Right? Even though in Belize we call it hurricane, it is for any tropical storms.
Yep.
Right? So it goes from tropical storm, category 1, category 2 to category 5 hurricane.
Yeah.
If any storm should damage the property, then we will pay the cost for repairs. If it's totally destroyed by hurricane, the hurricane endorsement will have a deductible.
Yep.
And the deductible varies on one, location where the property is located, and the construction type of the property, right? Also, for example, in San Pedro, the deductible could be 5%.
Yep.
Right? Because it's in an island, right?
Yep.
And so the damages could be more severe because of the storm surges and winds and so forth. In the inland, it could be between 2 to 3%. What we mean by deductible is that the owner of the property, the insured, will be responsible for that first amount of loss.
Yep.
Anything above that, then the insurance corporation will pay the difference.
Got it. Okay.
So it is both parties participate in the loss. No?
Got it.
Right.
So as far as that goes, then you got fire, you got hurricanes, but really it's kind of all perils, right? That's what it's called?
Yeah. There's a difference between the all perils and the name perils, right?
Okay.
And so at ICB, we prefer name the perils.
Got it.
Right?
So you list them out.
We list them out. Wow.
So like Lalo, for example, from my office, we could get him listed as a peril?
That's a huge risk, so underwriting will have to determine that. But good one, listen. Yeah. That's
so then
a good
fire, hurricanes, what other perils do you guys cover?
Hurricane, we have allied perils such as torrential rain.
Yeah.
So if there's a heavy rain, and that rain causes flood to your property, then we cover for the damages caused by those floods. We also cover against sea quakes, earthquakes, volcanic eruption.
What perils are we missing here, Marvin? That sounds like all of them to me.
It is all indeed, because in our peril they will name accepted perils. Right? We won't pay in these.
I see.
Risk occurs, but so. It's
pretty close.
It's the same coverage.
So you guys are pretty much covering for everything.
Yeah, for almost everything.
Got it. And the deductible range is about 3 to 5%. Okay.
Yeah, if it's a concrete building, if it's a wooden building, then it goes between 7% or higher.
Got it.
Right?
And as far as that goes, I know we're not going to really dive into specific rates that you guys offer. If people do want to find out more about insuring with ICB, we're going to throw my info up at the top here and Marvin's info, and you guys can shoot your emails over there to get the specifics. But what is the difference between wood and concrete right now? Is there a difference? If people are looking to build right now, which would you advise from an insurance standpoint?
Yeah, for the insurance standpoint, it will always preferable. In Belize, the insurance company prefer to have insured buildings that are constructed off of concrete more than a wooden building, because then, as you know, I hate saying it, but it is a true fact that our fire department in Belize are not well equipped.
Yep.
And so then if a fire should occur, then it's almost guaranteed that a wooden building will be totally destroyed before the fire department responds to it.
Yeah.
And so the risk, is far greater of damages to a wooden building than a concrete building in Belize,
so
especially hurricane as well.
Substantially cheaper, you could say, on the insurance policy. Yes,
it is. You get more reasonable rate on concrete buildings than a wooden buildings.
Yep. And who's underwriting these insurance policies?
ICB does most of the underwriting itself, but we also have reinsurer support, right?
Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about, because that's a very helpful thing for people and for the company, right?
That is definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So what
That
is
is the
that,
strength
Marvin?
of the company.
Yeah.
All right. What happens here, Will, is that this is how reinsurance works, right? Is where the insurance company, you transfer the risk of your property being destroyed or lost by a named peril to the insurance company.
Yep.
When you suffer that loss, the insurance company pays you. So the insurance company is in the same position as you, because then they have to pay you when you have a loss.
Yep.
So for financial support, it is wise, it's best practice that all insurance companies in Belize have a reinsurance support. So we take the property portfolio, we reinsure it another reinsurance company abroad,
with larger U.S. companies,
right?
typically, right?
Larger U.S. company, European companies.
So it's a very safe practice, actually.
That's right.
Okay. So yeah, just
So our policyholders can feel safe and guarantee that if anything happens,
they
will
in
be
good
paid.
hands.
They will
Yeah.
be paid because of our
That's
financial
important.
support.
That's the whole
Very
point of the game.
important.
That's the name of the game.
That's right. That's right. And to
Okay.
name some few, we have Hanover Re, which you might know is a well-rated, high-rated
Yep. Yeah. I've
financial
seen their
company.
pages
right?
before.
And they underwrite businesses throughout the world.
Yep.
You know? Yeah. So they are one of our reinsurance
Amazing.
for property insurance. you know.
Got it. And then the other types of insurance, let's talk about them a bit. I think we've covered. Anything else you want to say about the property insurance that we missed, or are we good to move on to?
No, what I want to say here in regards to getting it insured is that we will need the value of the property.
Yep.
We will need the forms to be completed, right? And most of the time, an inspection will be done to ascertain that the property is in good condition.
Yep.
And then when that is submitted, then the process is easy. All that is needed is for the insured to sign the binding instructions on the quotation.
Yep.
And as well make payment. And we have different ways of how people can make payment online, right? Using your credit card or using a local bank account or wireless transfer. And so,
So that's great. So
Yeah.
people can pay via local bank account.
Yeah.
Can they pay from an American account?
yes, they can if they do a transfer
Yeah.
and wireless transfer, or they can use your credit card to make payment, which we just give them a link. We email them a link.
And then
They open a link, put in their credit card
couldn't be any
information.
easier.
And,
What about a duffel bag of cash?
right.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Yeah.
Don't bring duffel bags of cash. That's a joke.
You need to account for that with the FIU. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's easy. And the main thing here, Will, and let me see here, is that as payment is received or a confirmation of payment is received, the policy kicks in immediately. There's no waiting period, right? Anything happens to the property,
The next
it
minute,
is covered.
it's done.
The benefits are in place immediately.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
I mean, right away, great service. What's the process like for people signing up with you, Marvin?
I will say if I have all information within a week, the quotation could be ready, and if they commit themselves,
Then it's good.
It's
Take
good
the
to go.
payment, and they get an account manager with that, or if they have any
Yeah.
questions, there's a support
Yeah.
team. Obviously, it's a huge
Yeah.
office, the main office in the
yes,
city there.
of course, yeah. And as you know, that I will be the contact person for all your clients at Remax, so they can
Marvin,
contact me.
settle down. I need you. We need you for ourselves over here, man.
So, but-
I'll take 1 minute to say something to the viewers here. In our experience with Marvin so far, guys, he's on the ball, shows up, great service, all around gentleman, and just great energy. So Marvin, I always appreciate that.
same,
Have to
likewise.
throw that little plug in there. What type of other insurance are we talking
All right.
about here, Marvin?
We do motor vehicle insurance,
Yep.
and the island, your golf carts,
Yep.
right? And so that, as you know, that's mandatory in Belize that every vehicle owner, motor vehicle owner, and golf cart is considered a motor vehicle
Yep.
because it's used on the public road. So they are required to have the minimum for third-party liability insurance.
Yep.
But let me say that ICB, we offer different levels of liability because the one that is required by law might not be enough to cover your liability, because then a lawsuit could occur greater than what the law requires you to have.
Yep.
So we have different policies that can cover you for higher liability to make sure then that you're financially secured.
Yep.
You know? And so motor vehicle is one of our good lines of business that we write throughout the country, I believe. Another one is marine insurance.
Yep.
And in marine insurance, we're referring to your boat, your vessels, and its engine, if it's damaged as a result of a peril of the sea,
I think I need that, Marvin.
Right?
We might have to talk about that. The other day I was at a turnoff and my motors got smashed pretty good.
Yeah, because there are a lot of floating debris, right?
Yeah.
And so that will be considered a peril of the sea, an accident, and so then it will cover for the damages.
We're going to talk about that after the video.
Right? Likewise, for people within the tour operators, where we cover the passengers within the boat, right? And third-party liability as well. Another aspect of the marine insurance is also cargo insurance. And cargo insurance simply means that if, let's say, one of your clients are shipping their furniture from the US in a container, let's say it's way up in Dallas, right? And so you have to traverse from Dallas to Miami port, and then Miami to Belize. Then we will cover those items that are insured from the time he left home in Dallas to when he reaches Belize. Let me say, one of the advantages about insuring with us a cargo is because if this is your final destination, ICB is a Belizean company, so we can inspect those properties here, right there and then, to ascertain the damages, and so then compensate it. So your client will not have to need to be calling the US or overseas with their insurance or freight company to say, hey, I have damages. Right, so it's
right here,
much easier.
You're waiting, you can check right away. Got it.
And likewise too, if you're buying your container worth of materials, your container worth of furniture from the mainland, and it's shipped locally by barge, if that barge should sink on its journey, then your goods are damaged. I'm not so sure if that barge, the freight or provider, have any insurance to compensate the owners. So I'm not so sure. But if in case they don't, then and you have your contents insured that you're barging over, those are covered with our policy. So, and that is how marine cargo will work internationally and locally.
Wow, pretty much everything. And one more question for you, Marvin, and then maybe if there's anything else you want to throw in here. But as far as if you're renting an Airbnb, what type of insurance do you need to conduct that type of business?
I as far in regards to Airbnb and vacation rentals, I believe that those homeowners will have to get a license from BTB, right, for them to operate as Airbnb or vacation rentals. And I'm made to understand that one of the requirements is that they must have some sort of public liability insurance.
Got it.
And so ICB covers public liability insurance. And so what does public liability insurance cover? If one of your guests is injured in your property, right, and either by using the pool, if you have a pool, right, or the stairs, rolls on the stairs, some sort of thing. As long as they get injured and they believe the injury was caused by either a neglect of one of its property management employees, right, or something was not properly fixed to the property and they were injured, then the homeowner can be sued. And so the public liability then will cover them against those injuries, that the amount that they are sued. The difference here, though, is that we at ICB or in Belize, the insurance companies will only cover for liability that is set on by the court of Belize. So in other words, if you're sued in Belize, then the court of Belize have to determine what that quantum will be that you as the homeowner will have to pay. And that is the amount then your insurance policy will, right? Because as you know, international coverage, to have an open coverage for international courts is very expensive. Right? And so, but locally we do provide public liability to cover you for that.
Got it. So Marvin, as far as what's being insured, is it the total value of the land and the home, just the home? What does that look like?
Insurance purposes, it is only the property, the structures is insured. So the value of the land is not insured. The reason for that is because the land will always be there. You won't lose the value of the land. Right? It is the structures we're talking about that we insure. So when we look at an appraisal, then we will look at the values of the structure. So the appraisal will normally come, okay, building 1 is valued so much, casita 1 valued so much, right? And it will have the pool valued so much, fence so much, right, and the retaining wall. And even it will come in with some little flowers or trees in it, right? So we look at that cost, the replacement cost of those, right? And so that is what we insure. So many times some clients will say, man, the insurance rate is kind of too high. And so when I ask them, are you including the value of the land? they say yes, then
Take that out.
that's you got to take that out. And when they recognize, then
that makes a big
the
difference.
changes, the race changes, then they say, okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good thing that we talked about that one. And I guess my final question, Marvin, how long is a typical policy with you guys? What's the term of that? Is it options that you offer? What does that look like?
All right. For property insurance, liability insurance, marine is like yearly policy.
Yeah.
So the insured must insure for the full year. But they have the right to cancel the policy at any given time if they no longer want the coverage. And so then we will refund them the difference from the time remaining.
Got it. Okay.
So
I mean, I think that's pretty much everything here, Marvin. I know we're sitting in the sun here, guys. I'm getting Marvin sweating over here, trying to get the colors and angles and everything looking right so you guys enjoy the video. But I got to say a big thank you to Marvin here for coming out. He came from their amazing office in the city. And if you guys have any questions, again, we'll throw our contact info there.
Yeah.
Marvin,
well, thanks. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, brother. Thank you again.
Thank you too.
Stay insured, guys. Stay safe. We'll see you in the next video and hopefully down here in paradise soon.
All right. Thank you.